Hi, I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Good morning, this is Jonathan Small, host of All About You. This program is broadcast at AccessTV.org in downtown Hartford. This show is designed to give a guest a chance to give his or her life story, and occasionally we will get into a topic. This morning I have a political activist here in the capital city of Hartford, Kennard Ray. Good morning, Kennard.
Good morning, Jonathan. How's everything?
Everything is going good.
All right.
I guess you're dealing with a situation now that recently you was appointed a position here in the city of Hartford as a deputy chief of staff. Mm-hmm. And you had the job, I guess, pretty much in place.
Right.
And there was some information found that you were a convicted felon, and that came on your record. And basically you decided to step down.
Correct.
Why, number one, did you decide to step down from that position offer?
Well, yeah, so it was a collective decision. It wasn't a easy decision either. Mm-hmm. But after some talking through and some talking to, it was decided that it would be probably the best thing to do in terms of the state that the city currently is in. And when I say the city, I mean the current administration. Mm-hmm. So it was seen as a way to soften the blow to any negativity that could have been thrown onto the administration. But as far as that goes, I'm not sure how that actually worked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, was it a situation that they were not going to hire you at a certain point that they found out that you was a convicted felon? Did that kind of make you decide to step down, or just the reason that you had just explained?
I really can't say, because we didn't get all the way there. Mm-hmm. So I can't comment on what was. I don't want to be too speculative. Okay. I can't say that there was not going to be a hire. I can't say that I would not have started work 6 days later or what have you after the press release went out. Mm-hmm. But what I do know is it would have been an uncomfortable situation for all involved, with there being this amount of media attention being given to the administration. If I was going into that office, I was going into work, not to be a cause of more media attention to an administration that's already been smacked around a bit. And I think that it definitely would have created an awkward, if not unproductive, work environment to start your first day of work with the news cameras there.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had this problem before in your past?
With the news showing up?
No. Well, something on that level by you being a felon and people finding that out on your record?
Finding it out? No. So the interesting thing about this is I've never been in a situation where I did not have to disclose my ex-offender history. Mm-hmm. Hartford and several other cities in Connecticut, as well as state government cities, in the municipal governments, have something called ban the box, where mm-hmm. there's no box on, and when we speak about box, it's colloquially the are you a felon, yes or no box. Okay. Have you ever been convicted of a felony or a misdemeanor? That box does not exist in the application process. So I've never been in a situation where I have not had to disclose. I've always disclosed what my ex-offender status is. Mm-hmm.
Well, do you think this is something that you would fight for to change, this ex-offender box on your application? The bottom line is, would you fight to see if more ex-felons would not have this problem hanging over their record, is when they go apply for a job, that if you put down that you have been convicted as a felon, then that's going to hurt you from getting the job. That's something that you would decide to fight for?
Absolutely. I already have. I've fought for it in my history of political activism, and I'll continue to fight for it. Right now, as I said, it is municipally on the books here at city government, as well as I think it's 3 or 4 other municipalities in Connecticut, as well as a number of them across the country. 10 states have enacted it statewide, but there's more that can be done. There's precedent at the state level where you can make ban-the-box stretch not only public to the public sector, but also the private sector. Massachusetts has a really good model to look at called their Corey Reform Initiative that I think they got passed in 2010 that prevents private businesses from purchasing criminal backgrounds from independent operators, because that's become a racket in itself. It's a business in itself, people selling backgrounds. And because they have to purchase them from the state has the leverage to disclose what's relevant and what's not, and the state has set levels of disclosure as far as times. If it's a felony 10 years or older, the state does not disclose. If it's a misdemeanor 5 years or older, the state does not disclose. So it helps create a more balanced playing field. But even then, like I said, it's a model to start with. I think Hartford is a great place to start because we do have this specter. There is some attention being given to the ban-the-box issue. And I also would want to fight for, any administration, whether it's Hartford, Middletown, Britain, or New Orleans, to stand on ban-the-box as it is. So to protect and strengthen it, because the thing is right now is I don't think it should not be up to the media to determine public discourse, and in this situation, it's actually what it was. You can go back and roll back the tape. There's interviews with the mayor saying that I was qualified. I'm no less qualified today than I was 10 days ago or whenever that was. There's no less of a reason to hire me today than there was then. But I think that the media attention, it's sad but true, and it's happened for some time. Probably since the beginning of political media relationships, is that the media has been able to dictate public discourse and public policy, and it's something that we really have to push back on. It's a difficult thing, but we have to push back on that. And one part of pushing back on it is making sure that administrations feel strong in their stance, will feel strong on the legislation that they pass, and are able to stand up on it. Well, this legislation, it would have to be changed on a state level, even though you was appointed a position here. A city level? You can change it? So again, like the Massachusetts model, that can be enacted at the municipal level. Okay. Having something that where you can say, listen, whether public or private, you can't discriminate against someone based on their ex-offender status. And I mean, in a place like Hartford, it's probably one of the most progressive things that we could do. I don't know the exact statistics, but and you may know better than I do. But Hartford is virtual warehousing now. The city is warehousing for ex-offenders, and it's not fair to the city because it's affecting a particular tax base, and it's not fair to those residents. Residents shouldn't be warehoused. We shouldn't have blocks upon blocks of unemployable men and women, most of them in their prime, working age.
Well, first of all, this is an urban warehouse. It's not just Hartford. It's New Haven, Bridgeport, Waterbury, most of your urban centers in the state.
Across the country.
Across the country, too, a national problem.
Right.
But you decided to step down from the position that you was going to be appointed towards. Did it ever thought, or would you now think that if you was able to take that position, you could kind of show that an ex-felon could fight for his job? And I know you said the media had a lot to do with your decision not to take the position, but don't you think if you were able to take that position, you could have showed that I'm an ex-felon, I took this job, I've proven that if I serve my time and I had referrals and I did everything that I needed to be done, that this job and this position is worth for me fighting for? Did that ever cross your mind that I should take this job?
Absolutely, absolutely. But see, the thing about it is like I said, if I would have started that job on a Monday morning with the media there, or started that job with the mind of I'm going to fight for the job instead of actually doing the job.
Right.
You know? So I'm in a position now where I can actually fight for other folks to attain those jobs, or at least attain the opportunity. You know, I'm gainfully employed, so that's not a problem. I think this was a perfect storm of a situation where, you know, here's someone who's still employed, still has opportunity, still, you know, has the mind of an organizer, has a political background where I can actually say I'll step away from that, because if I'm in the position, I actually want to do the work. I don't want to be like, because then you become an obstructionist, and you know, to wit, like, I think that I wanted to take the job at City Hall to really help improve policy, do things that would work in my community and all communities, to form one Hartford. Hartford's a divided place. I don't want to further politicize the issue by being someone in City Hall fighting against and fighting for this ordinance that should have been upheld and stood strong on. I'd rather be outside with the opportunity to say, listen, here's our opportunity as you know, citizens and members of this community to really push back on something that we think may not have really went the right way, versus, you know, as I said, kind of being an obstructionist, fighting from the inside, but not actually doing the work that I was hired from. I don't think that would have been the way to go.
Now, you say you could fight for this change a little bit differently from the outside. Is that part of your political activist that you have worked, I guess, as a member of the Working Families? I mean, is that past experience and other related organizations that you work with is going to give you a good insight on how to change some of these policies here?
Absolutely. I think, you know, if we want to speak about the Working Families Party and the Working Families Organization, this is an issue that is like prime material. It's a prime issue for something like the Working Families. It's something that we've worked on. It's the initial ban the box ordinance that was passed in 2009 and enacted in 2010 was brought out onto the dais at council by a Working Families Party legislator, Luis Cotto, who is you know, a former Harvard City Council person. So this is definitely something that I have worked on at the Working Families, and it's definitely something that I'm well informed on it by my experiences with Working Families. Do
you think you would ever be appointed, if let's just say, for instance, your record became clean, you know, they changed the ban the box law, do you think the current administration would ever appoint you again as a deputy chief of staff?
I can't speculate.
You can't speculate?
Yeah, I don't know what the administration is going to do.
Well, I mean, would you advocate for that position again? Would you try to see if you can get that same position? I know it's an appointed position, but would you try to say, I would like to get my job, I would like to apply for it, even though it's an appointed position? I mean, I'm saying, would you fight to be a deputy chief? Would you try to get that same position back again sometime in the future?
I wouldn't be fighting for it, no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if it was something, you know, just for context, like you said, it's an appointed, not apply for a job. It was at least a couple of months of at least a month and a half of me saying no.
Okay.
You know, so it was a time when I didn't even want the job. So I wouldn't advocate for myself to be appointed. If you know, the stars aligned and things you know, worked out in a way that the current administration wanted me in that position or another position, then I would consider. Is it in the same way that I considered this job? It took some time for me to consider it, but I would definitely consider. But I'm not going to advocate for myself to be appointed to a position.
Okay. Well, Kennard Ray, again, we're just about out of time. I think the bigger issue is to remove, disband the box and give ex-felons a real second chance. And I think you can be utilized here as a model for someone that has done the right thing and deserves to be able to get a real opportunity. So Kennard Ray, again, I had enjoyed having you on this segment, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Good morning. Again, this is Jonathan Small, host of All About You. I enjoyed doing this program at Access TV Studios. And you can watch this program on accesstv.org and other formats. And as I say every single week, have a very blessed day and keep the faith. Thank you.